Hello, this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
That's Sadie.
That is Sadie, yes.
And I'm your friendly neighborhood downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse.
She's not.
To an otherwise, I think she's bringing all the discourse right now.
She's pretty uncivil right now.
She is being rather uncivil. Well, she's like, you fucks woke me up for this.
I took you out.
She's like, you'll do it again.
I took you out at 4:30.
She's like, and you will do it again. Not at 4:30 though. I'm really trying to break her of that. But hello, yeah.
Hi.
And
welcome back.
How you doing? You're all right.
I'm glad you're home.
I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cold.
It's
so fucking cold.
I really wanted to go for a ride today.
I want to go for a ride too, but it's 5 degrees outside.
My Harley was in the shop for 3 months.
That's why I really want to go. Well, maybe we should. Maybe we should just go.
Just layer up.
We'll go find all of our thermals and all of our, like, you know,
wrap your face in a bunch of scarves.
Well, maybe we'll actually go shopping for, like, the things that we need to ride in cold weather.
I mean, I can make do with what I've got.
You can make do. I can.
But you know what? If you introduce me to some, neoprene or whatever it's called, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Then, depends.
Well, we'll have to look into it. We'll have to look into it a little further. Maybe not today, but soon and for the rest of our lives.
But before we get too far into that, 3 civil rules for the sake of civility.
Simple rules.
Simple rules.
Simple
Not
rules.
Civil, yeah.
For civility.
3 civil rules for the sake of simplicity.
There you go. No, nothing. No. I almost had it. No judgment.
This is the only show where we can get away with this.
No judgment.
Nothing personal.
And don't be a dick. Sadie, don't be a dick.
This Christmas, Sadie's a dick again.
That tracks. Yeah. It's like Beethoven's second. Look at the look she's giving you.
Look at that side eye. It's too bad they can't see her, because then they could see that that face we make her make.
Yeah, we found
pocket.
We found her tickle spot.
What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so I went out this morning, and I went to get my downstairs groomed, and
I'm sorry.
My parents might not want to listen to this one, just fair warning. And I was thinking
Mom,
about
Dad,
it.
leave the room. Shut it off.
So I was thinking about it because, I'm lying there with my eyes closed trying to zen out because that shit hurts. And I was thinking about, that it's been every time I do this, right? And I don't do it often. I go once every 2 months, every 6 to 8 weeks, just to get it all taken care of. And the reason why I do this, I get a full Brazilian and my legs. I don't get anything above the waist anymore. I used to get my arms and my underarms because I just don't like body hair. I'm covered in tattoos, so obviously I don't like body hair. But as I've gotten older, the hair on my arms is like super blonde now and everything. And thanks to hormones, there's basically no hair under my arms. So, yeah. And while I'm lying there, I was thinking about this because I have not shaved my legs. I have not shaved anything below my belly button.
With a razor.
Well, shaved. Meaning with a razor, an epilator, anything like that. In years.
Okay.
I made this call the last time I took a chunk of flesh out of my knee in the shower.
Okay.
And this was not the first time that I had done such a thing. It is a horror show. And, I was shaving my legs like every other day just to get them, decent and everything. And again, I'm covered in tattoos. I don't want I want to be able to show my skin without having, this hair covering it up and everything. So I started getting waxed regularly, and I made the argument for the expense of it. Now, I have been criticized. Thank you.
There she goes, licking your wound after licking my hand. That's what calms her down.
I sort of justified the expense of this by saying it's not like I do it often. I'm not going every 2 weeks or anything like that. I had gone back and forth on it. Like, I'd done it a couple of times, and I was just like, you know what? I'm never buying a razor ever again. Either I will be hairy or I will get waxed. and I opted for waxed. Now, I've also very specifically chosen where I go to get waxed. The dog is losing her mind right now. Because there are places closer to our home that do Brazilian waxing. Not every place, people who are not a part of this community, for lack of a better word, might not know. Not every place that does body waxing does Brazilian waxing. Mm-hmm. It's just not everybody does it. I don't know if it's a zoning thing or if it's a preference thing, but not every esthetician, I guess, wants to stare at the butthole on a regular basis, which is a part of it. I, however, have also been like, oh, well, I don't need to get everything removed because it is more expensive, obviously. I presume for health reasons and, again, for preference reasons on the part of the esthetician. But I justify the expense, and I have been criticized by exes who have learned how expensive this service actually is.
Finally, a jumping off point for me. Here we go. Here's where I can interject myself into this conversation.
But as I lie there this morning on my back, because once I'm on my tummy, I'm in the final stretch, and that's the part I don't mind. Mm-hmm. It's true. Right. But I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, I think a lot of people would consider things like this frivolous. I think that falls into the category of, I got my eyebrows tattooed on last year. Mm-hmm. I take the dog to the groomers for a full service once a month. These are all things that are completely unnecessary. Like, I can wash the dog. I can paint. I can draw my own eyebrows on every day, which I was also doing for years. But I justified and rationalized the expense because I don't want to do these things. I don't want to keep taking chunks of flesh out of my legs. Ergo, I don't buy razors anymore, and I refuse to. Going forward, if I were ever in a position where I'm just like, I cannot afford to do this, I would sooner sell some of my shoes than be like, I'm not getting waxed anymore. I'll go back to shaving. It'll never happen. I'm 40, and I can say with 5,000% certainty it'll never happen. But it got me wondering, what do you do that's frivolous?
Are you ready for the male perspective?
You got a male perspective on this? Yeah, go for it.
And now, a moment with Downtown Andy.
Do you have theme song music for this? A quiet violin? That's the Spanish flea.
I know. Where's the Pee-wee breakfast machine when you need it?
What do you got?
So I will be 100% blunt and honest. In the beginning of our relationship, I did believe that a lot of things that you do, maintenance and care-wise, were frivolous.
Okay.
The waxing, the massages, the eyebrows, the therapy.
Well, I've only done the eyebrows once, to be fair.
Just in general, okay.
The time it took me to do my eyebrows every day?
Because straight cis white males don't typically engage in that much beautification of themselves.
True.
The most we ever go is to get our hair cut and beards trimmed and on,
Y'all do spend a lot of money and time on your beards, though.
I mean, not me. The one time was the day of the wedding when I was like, all right, I'm getting married.
Well, yeah.
I'll spend a little bit to look good for the photos.
And now I cut your hair.
And my wife, yeah. And I think you do a much better job than most people I've been to.
Thank you.
And you're a lot cheaper.
Hey!
You're a lot more affordable.
Thank you.
But yeah, in the beginning, I thought a lot of stuff you did was the pedicures too, until you took me for my first one.
And pedicures were not something that I got on a regular basis. But
it's been a while for us.
It has been a while.
I recommend that shit left and right now.
See? And when I booked a pedicure, the first time that you took me for a pedicure was that first Mother's Day, I think.
Yes.
And then...
Because I'm like, what do I get her?
And then I took you... Was it for our anniversary?
I think so, yeah.
I took you, and I was so terrified because I didn't tell you where we were going. and I didn't tell you what we were doing. I was just like, just drive and I'll tell you when to turn. And then we got in there and I was like, hey.
Do you remember what I said? I'm like, this is my gift. I get to sit and watch you get a pedicure.
That's true. And I'm just like, not quite, dear. But as we were pulling in, I'm like, he's gonna fucking hate me. I'm like, he's absolutely going to hate me, and we're gonna finish this, and he's gonna say, okay, so thank you for the gesture, but never do that again.
I have entered more things than you would imagine or think. More things in our relationship with an open mind.
Yeah.
Okay? So, on a side note, get your mind out of the gutter as far as Christmas goes. Okay?
Me?
Yeah, you. You're all worried about what I'm going to think of what you got me and everything. I'm entering it with an open mind, like I've entered all the concerts we've been to, all the shows you've taken, like everything that you have introduced me to, movies, TV, outing-wise, everything. You're always worried what my perception of it is going to be. And I think I said this in another podcast, like 85% of the time, it's met with, appreciation and enjoyment.
Yeah. You like pedicures, though.
I do.
You enjoy it very much.
It is invaluable care for my poor feet and
you
ankles.
are on your feet a lot. I am too.
But again, see, the thing that turns me away from things of like what we're discussing is the cost, because to me it's hard for me to equate what it is to how much is getting charged. And I mean, that isn't just for these things, it's for a lot of things in life. Like,
I did get you a massage for
one
was
time.
that for Christmas also?
I would rather just go to a chiropractor. Like,
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a different thing.
Yeah, I don't like being covered in oils and.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You
just like with when I need to moisturize my skin because I have very dry skin, I'm very particular with what I use because I don't like that oily, greasy feeling lingering.
And that's fair. That's fair.
But again, in the beginning, I thought a lot of stuff was frivolous, and I don't like how much. But when you see, like, when I saw how much effort and work these people at the salon put into the pedicures, and how much they actually do with their hands, and how much force they're putting in, they work hard.
Oh yeah, this is
they earn their tips.
I've tried to explain this, especially to men, that they're
like, that's a skill.
It is a skill. It takes training. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body to do that work. I've done that work. So I can tell you, it takes a lot to do that all day.
Now, I mean, realistically, and this goes for anybody, I would think we all wish that these services were cheaper than they are because we want to pay as little as possible. That might be like a uniquely American thing, but
it might be. It might be.
Because we want to be able to save money for other things. And you ask me what I do that's frivolous.
Yeah, what do you do?
That's really a matter of opinion. That's subjective. A lot of things that I do for myself, I mean, not you in particular, but other people in my life have perceived what I enjoy as frivolous. Trading cards, for example. My guitar collection, the anything that I would spend money, like the biggest argument I've had with people over the years is the reselling of things.
Right.
Like, why would you do this if it was something you wanted? And I would always say it's not like I can't get it back or get it again later on.
Right.
But yeah, that's subject to.
Do you do anything?
Opinion.
Do you do anything that people might consider frivolous that is for the betterment of your life?
Well, I mean...
Or do you think that you manage on the bare basics, the bare necessities?
I used to cite arguments that you've made. Everything is now for the betterment of, mental well-being. Because I wasn't comfortable doing a lot for my mental well-being before we started dating because I didn't think I was allowed to.
Right.
By family members, by exes, by coworker, like, I've grown much more comfortable in recent years with, you know what? Yeah, it's okay for me to take a day and sit around we've talked about that on the podcast, sitting around and doing nothing.
Sure.
I did that mostly yesterday. I did get my chores done, but at the same time, it's like you need to take time for yourself to
Absolutely.
you know,
you have to
recover.
you have to restore. Otherwise, because if you work a full day, or even not even work, but if you are active all day, you can think of it in a physiological way. You're keeping your heart rate real high. Now, if you do that all day and you keep your heart rate real high, you're eating and you're active and everything like that, your metabolism and your heart rate are staying high. If your heart rate remains high, there's little chance you're going to get restful sleep that night. You need that time to restore, otherwise you won't rest.
See, and I never
and without the rest, your body doesn't recover.
I don't get restful sleep ever because my mind is always so active. I'm always physically exhausted because I'm always mentally exhausted.
And that's why restorative time is so important. I don't call it me time or self-care. You know, those are they've got connotations attached to them at this point, which basically tell people this person's being lazy. And it's like, no, this is restorative time. And it's it can be invaluable.
Certain people that I was referencing earlier that I still don't want to name names with this, but in their later years have begun to appreciate it themselves from what I've seen.
Yeah.
To really understand that, you know, not everything has to get done right now. It can wait until late because it'll always be there, you know? I mean, even in the back of my mind, to a degree, I think that a lot of my hobbies are frivolous to other people. And, you know, like, to this day, like, when I'm driving along at work and I have my favorite music playing, a lot of times, actually more often than not, whether it's my favorite music or even a podcast I'm listening to, if I see somebody standing at their box waiting for me, automatically have to pause because I don't want their opinion. I don't want their commentary on what I'm listening to because it's not warranted. And if it's negative, it makes it even worse. You know, I've been criticized for a lot of the things. I mean, we've talked about this at length. For the things that I like by many people throughout the years for various reasons. And I don't want to hear that. I don't want to have to defend my position.
And that's just it, is that you have no person has a reasonable expectation to that explanation. Like, you know, if they don't like something that they hear you listening to, oh well. Like who fucking cares? Like, that's just it. Like, it doesn't matter. No one should be braced to hear something they don't like and ergo immediately jump down the throat of the person enjoying it. I mean, it's like, who gives a shit?
Even if I'm listening to this podcast, to our podcast, like, because I always proof listen to it at least once. Well, yeah, and plus, you know, I get to hear your voice when I'm at work. It brightens my day.
Yeah.
Not so much with our podcast because, you know, that'd kind of be like a jumping off point. Like if somebody heard it and be like, "Oh, what are you listening to?" It's like, "Oh, this podcast."
Let me tell you.
Yeah. Speaking of let me tell you, Rob was talking to me about what you said last week about Family Guy, or 2 weeks ago rather.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Andrew gets a PowerPoint presentation ready because you said it wasn't funny. Anyway, it's funny. But yeah, I normally don't want to have to defend myself because I shouldn't have to defend myself. And it's very discouraging and very upsetting when somebody, you know, goes out of their way to even make a small comment, you know, because it may be small to them, but it's not necessarily, like you were talking in the How Did This Get Made episode about how I take a lot of things, I do take things personally.
You do.
And I think that's very unfortunate. It's not something that I can just, you know, let go of overnight. But part of me doesn't want to, and part of me doesn't think I should have to.
You would rather just stay angry all the time?
I don't want to stay angry, but it's the same thing. Like if I were to criticize the frivolity of your getting waxed or whatever, it's just like, you shouldn't have to defend yourself to me. You shouldn't have to, you know, make it seem logical to me as to why you do what you do.
But the difference between you and me is I wouldn't.
But I'm saying,
Like if
but
you were to
I know
say,
you wouldn't.
if you were to look me dead in the face and say, babe, what you're doing is frivolous and you should stop because it's stupid that you do it, I'd be like, that's your opinion. Thank you very much.
And that's your reaction. My opinion is that you shouldn't have to. Just like nobody should have to.
Nobody should have to, but considering that you can't control other people, I choose to control the way I react to people, and it's an eye roll and then that's it, and it's over.
I don't make fun of people for what they like. I make fun of people for what they do. Like if somebody does something blatantly stupid or inconsiderate of somebody else, yes, I am going to say something, okay? I do it at work all the time because people do stupid stuff every single day. But when it comes to someone's personal choices, their music, their TV, their clothing, their interests, their hobbies, their choice in friends, their choice in, food, liquor, whatever, it doesn't matter.
The amount of money they spend on getting their body hair removed.
Exactly. It is not my place to judge or to criticize because that's not fair to them. The boys like Minecraft. I don't like Minecraft, but I'm not going to say that, it's not, I'm not the final arbiter of taste. Like it's not, for me.
But to me, I don't know if it's a question of getting back to my original point. I don't know that it's as much a question of taste in like, this is what I choose to spend my time on, spend my money on, and everything for the betterment of my mental well-being. I don't necessarily, because I love you. You do criticize me when all I want to do is watch TV. That is something that I do for the betterment of my mental well-being because it is something that I don't have to think about something anymore. Like you talk about having this mental unrest constantly. And that is that is the tried and true solution for me is I found something where I don't need to pay attention to anything else going on around me. And that's why I do it so much because when I have a full day of something, like my heart rate is up here all day. You've seen the charts. You've seen where my heart rate is all day. And on the days when all I have to do is a few chores and walk the dog and everything, and I can just chill and read or watch movies or something like that, you see how calm my body gets. And these are those other things that I do for those purposes. Do I wish that they didn't cost as much money as they do? Absolutely. I can tell you right now, I spend a couple $100 a month on these things, and a couple $100 more a month when I have to get the landscaping done. But, these are the things that I have done because I don't have to talk myself out of doing them. I haven't reached that point yet. I don't believe that I am frivolous necessarily. I just think that I've reached a point where I don't feel required to justify these things to myself anymore. I would never bother to justify them to other people. Probably at some point in my life when I was younger, I might have taken judgment a little bit more seriously. Like the fact of the matter is that, 5 years ago, I mentioned, how much my waxing cost. And my ex at the time was like, you spend that much on getting your legs waxed? To which I replied, listen, if leg hair didn't grow in 19 different directions, I wouldn't need someone else to do it for me. But the fact of the matter is that I do.
Now, watch me own my own hypocrisy in real time.
Oh, I love this part.
So, I had a TV day mostly yesterday.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Yeah. But I wouldn't say I criticize you, but I stress the fact that you don't always exercise moderation with it and that's what worries me. I don't want to fall into this trap because, for those who know my father, and I know he'll never listen to this.
No, never.
But he's lived most of my life in front of the television, and his health has suffered because of it. He continued, like, he's going to be 80 years old in April. Like, from the time I was a child, I don't think I've ever seen the man run. I don't even think I've ever seen the man sprint.
Now, here's the thing, though, is that you cannot, granted, you're using it as a cautionary tale, which I can absolutely back that play. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot tell yourself that the reason why your father is in such a condition that he's in is because of television.
Solely no. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Solely
like,
no.
You cannot say. Now, you also can't say, well, if I'm watching television, then I'm neglecting other things, because you have the willpower. No. You have the willpower to get up and do other things if you want to.
I need to cut you off, though, because now you're proposing alternative scenarios, and all I said was, I'd rather you exercise moderation. It's not that, taking time to veg out in front of the TV is a bad thing, but the degree to which we usually do it, especially when we're together, okay? Especially that we're getting older, want to be more active so I don't wind up like my dad. So I don't have to end up ordering boxes of Nutrisystem to have delivered to the house and have a, oxygen machine on hand. Now, getting to your other point, spending $500 on your thing, okay? I had an
That's all of my things. It's not just the one, it's just all of my things.
I had an ex.
Yeah.
You know that guitar that's hanging downstairs that you love so much?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my first one of those.
Are you about to ruin this guitar for me?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, she did that all by herself.
Ugh.
The first Gibson Voodoo model I had, I bought in November of 2013.
Yeah.
Had always wanted one, chased it forever, tried to get it for what I believe to be an appropriate price. Mm-hmm. And I found one. It was beat to shit, but it was, wasn't broken like when this one arrived.
Yeah.
And it was $700 and change.
Okay. Is that good?
Huh?
Is that good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Especially by today's standards.
Well, I don't know from such
Now,
things.
at the time, we were living in the building next door
Mm-hmm.
and splitting all bills down the middle. Okay?
At her insistence.
Yes. She had her money. I had my money. We split everything down the middle. I bought this guitar. I made the mistake of telling her how much I spent.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how important it was to me. I got the argument of a lifetime because in her mind, I wasn't going to be able to afford my share of the bills.
Was it true?
No.
Well, then who gives a shit?
She did.
Well, tough titty balls.
And let me hear, no end of it.
That's why I never criticize you for any of that shit, because I'm just like, it's not like he's using the mortgage money to buy a guitar. It's like, because you're not an asshat.
I know.
So it's like, none of my business.
Like,
you work hard for your money. You go ahead and you do what you're gonna do with it.
So I mean, that's just
What a rotten person.
Yeah. But, I mean, and because of interactions like that, it led me to believe a lot over the years that, not believe, but question, are my hobbies frivolous? Are they stupid? Is what I'm doing wrong? And, I thought to myself once within the last couple of months, you know how when you eat something bad or you ingest something you're just not supposed to, and, you either vomiting it or whatever, it's like your body, you're rejecting it.
Yeah.
I'd like to think your body does that with people too. If you spend enough time around the wrong kind of people, eventually your body will just go into self-defense mode and allow you to either say the things to them or do things that remove these people from your life.
I absolutely agree.
Because until we got together, I dated all the wrong people.
Obviously.
I spent so much time around the wrong kind of friends and people who took advantage of and abused and used me, and I'm much better off now.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ditto. And the same goes for me, baby.
And because of conversations like the one we're having and the ones we've had regularly on the podcast and outside of the podcast, you know, it's led me to really believe in what's actually important. I'm not going to sit here and judge you for the decisions you make for your own well-being, because at the end of the day, your well-being is my well-being and vice versa. Mm-hmm. We are always doing things for the betterment of ourselves and our marriage and our life together, and ultimately for the people around us. Now, whether or not they see it that way, that's their hang-up.
I always say that, you know, it's this restorative time, and whatever that looks like, is I equate it all the time to when you're on an airplane and they tell you, you know, if the oxygen masks fall, you put yours on first before helping other people. And yes, like, you cannot, you know, they say it, you know, they say it like, you know, you can't love someone else until you love yourself first. I think that's kind of a hoity-toity, hokey way of putting it, but to that same sentiment, that's how I feel, is that you cannot be good, you cannot be a good version of yourself for others if you're not doing right by yourself. And that's why, you know, that's why I've been able to get to a point where I really don't judge a lot. You know, I don't judge people's ideas. I don't judge their opinions and perspectives. I don't judge their choices or anything like that. I don't judge their lifestyles. There are things I disagree with and things that I certainly wouldn't do. But like, when you tell me, you know, like, oh, I got this, or what do you think of this guitar, or this and that and the other thing, I'm never going to be like, oh God, you would never spend our money on that. It's like, because you wouldn't. Our money is what goes to pay for this house. You and I both contribute to it. And everything else is, there is yours, there is mine, and then there is ours. And that is the, I think, the true colors of a positive relationship. You know?
She woke up.
And, she hates high fives. And, you know, that's just it, is that you and I both work really hard all the time. We work really hard. We work long days, long weeks. And when we have the ability to do something for ourselves, and we have not only the means to do it, but the time and the energy as well to do it, we should be in a position where we can feel good about doing those things for ourselves. So that when we do something together, we are at 100%, that we're capped off energy-wise, and we feel good about it, you know?
Now, here's the part, if you've stuck with us this long, that you guys really need to listen to and pay close attention to.
Okay.
Because this will save all of your, you know, your relationships and your mental stability and your sanity.
If we save your relationship right now, send us money.
We accept cash, checks, and chocolate coins. We had an argument, you know, recently.
Yes.
They are fewer and farther between now than they were, you know, in the beginning.
Nonetheless, heated.
Heated, and I called you selfish.
Yes.
Which I regret, because I don't genuinely believe that. What I do genuinely believe is that you and I both, myself included, have the ability to be selfish.
Absolutely.
To put ourselves before each other.
Yes.
And you and I have done a much, much better job as the years have gone by of communicating, of understanding each other, understanding what each other needs.
Yeah.
And
taking the time to be compassionate for the other.
And reconciling, understanding that, will we say things that hurt that we genuinely don't mean? Absolutely. Will we come out of these arguments better and stronger and more compassionate? Yes. Everybody needs time to reflect.
Yes.
Everybody needs time to cool off, especially me. everybody needs time to apologize and realize what's actually important. We don't agree on everything.
No.
And these instances will happen again. I say it all the time. But nothing will ever be so severe that we can't come back from it, and cooler heads wouldn't be able to prevail.
And we took that time after that argument, and the first thing we did when we came back together in the same room was apologize. Mm-hmm. And we hugged it out, and we talked rationally about what happened. And that's just it, is that, when you have those moments to reflect and you have that time to make sure that you yourself are in a good place, that's when you can be in a good place with someone else.
I don't think people take time to really reflect. It's one of those things that I wonder, because I spend so much time in my own headspace, I wonder if people think about, I wonder if they grasp it, I wonder if they understand it the way I do.
Yeah.
I'm constantly wondering things like this. Do people reflect as often or in the ways that I do? And the truth is, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd hope that, more people, it's like when you have a close call, somebody cuts you off or something like mm-hmm. that. And you wonder, if that person was at fault, do they feel bad? Or do they just think, oh, it was that other guy's fault?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we really taking the time to reflect? I know you and I are.
Yes, we are. Constantly.
But to those of you out there, what are you guys doing?
I think it's important to not only understand. I think it's not just about taking the time to reflect so that you can be good with someone else. I think that the most important thing is to be honest about it, and not just with each other, with yourself, because I'm sure plenty of people would want to perpetuate friendships and, relationships and things like that for the sake of something they just don't want to lose. But I think that reflection is what is the most significant and the most necessary to being honest with yourself and saying, is that really all I want? Because I've been in plenty of situations, long-term friendships and stuff like that, where I just, I don't want to lose this person. And, they've been my friend for years and years and years and everything. And it's like, listen, they're not serving me anymore. They're not doing anything for me. They're barely there. They're not accessible. They're not available. They're not being a friend to me. I have to admit that and be okay knowing that we grew apart. Mm. And it's okay. It's a hard thing to realize and to come to terms with, but sometimes it's okay. And that's just it. And those are the things that, when you're not sitting on those holding those ties, by the ends of your fingers kind of a thing, where you make room in your mental space for the better things to come. And I think that's the other side of that same coin, is that in being honest with yourself about the things that will help you be better for someone else, you are able to be more available to those possibilities. If that makes sense. It sounds kind of hokey, but if it makes sense.
It's because that I don't have this with anybody else that I'd always much rather spend my time around you.
Yeah.
Because we see things very similarly.
Yes.
And we understand them very similarly.
Yes, we do. Which, people don't necessarily understand, because you and I, superficially, are remarkably different people. Mm-hmm. Superficially speaking, people who know you and people who know me look at us and they think, that's weird. Because you and I are very different people.
Who are you talking to?
You and I are very different people. We have different core beliefs. We have, all of, we have a lot of differences in the way that we handle things, the way that we deal with people, the things that we want in life and everything. But the fact of the matter is that those are all superficial, because deep down, you and I believe in being the same way. You and I understand things in very similar terms. And that's why you and I are perfect together. This went a long way from me talking about my ooh-hoo. Yeah.
Mom, Dad, you guys still there?
But this was a good talk, and I think it ended on a good note.
By the way, if I've never said it on the podcast, I love my in-laws. I know it's like the running joke for guys to just be like, "Ugh, the in-laws." Like, no,
I that's what I do.
Well, because look at your father-in-law. Ugh. No, I genuinely love my in-laws.
Yeah, and this'll come out on this'll be the one that comes out Christmas Eve then.
I get, yeah.
Yeah, this episode will be coming out on Christmas Eve.
We're knocking out a few episodes all in the same span.
I'm gonna have to get like a day planner to figure out which ones going into season 2. That's gonna be a New Year's resolution.
A rare occurrence where we're off together. Like we could knock out a month's worth of episodes today.
We're gonna have to.
It's too cold to go anywhere anyway.
It's true.
Oh, we woke the dog up.
Oh no, and her face is all stuck inside itself.
Just don't knock Bill off again.
She loves that duck.
Bill.
Well, thank you yet again out there in podcast land for tuning in and listening to That Talking Podcast. This was fun. This was a blast.
If this does happen to air on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Hanukkah.
It is Hanukkah.
It is
yes.
Hanukkah, yeah.
Christmaka is coming. Blessed Yule tidings, and this might be
Krampus, Yolaboke.
This may be the last one
of the year. No, we got to do the New Year's Eve special.
You want to do a New Year's Eve special?
You want to go to the White Horse again?
Ooh, well, maybe.
We probably got to reserve a table.
I think that we probably should.
Because we got lucky the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tune in for one final episode of the 2024 season of That Talking Podcast, and get your resolutions ready, because I have a feeling that's what we're going to be talking about.
Nope, no plugs.
Yeah, no plugs.
Because by the time this airs, this is it.
This is the end of the year. And I'm looking forward to everything to come. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Find us on social media, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's.
Wait a second. I just realized something.
Oh, no.
If this is going up on Christmas Eve, that's when your parents are going to be at our house.
Well, I hope they don't listen to this on the way. Ugh.
You want to place bets?
No, I don't. Good grief. All right. Well, anyway, go to our website, That Talking Podcast at .buzzsprout.com. Send us a text. Let us know what you think. Questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, and suggestions for future conversations. Possibly, if you'd like to be a participant in one of these conversations, because coming up next year, I think that's what we're going to start doing. We do have somebody lined up that wants to be. And that we shall. Yeah. That we shall. So yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap on this one. And from the 3 of us at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star. And I'm Downtown Andy. We'll talk to you later.